Breaking news. Adegboruwa urges National Assembly to override Buhari on Electoral Amendment Bill. Hello, my wonderful people. One of the senior advocates of Nigeria, Hassan, has said, you know what, the National Assembly, both Senate and House of Representatives, according to the Constitution, can, okay, invoking some section, subsection of the Constitution, override Buhari's, on approval of the electoral bill that has been proposed. Now, how it works is that the National Assembly, whether the Senate or House of Representatives, these are arms of government to ensure that not any arm of the government is taking absolute power. So, because we know absolute power corrupts absolutely. Where one, power is very intoxicating, feels like a god and begins to do and undo. And before you know it, if these excesses are not checked, India, me, and the rest kind of experience we've had all over the world, will begin to happen, where a single man begin to annihilate the Jews in time past, and I mean a lot, going on. So the Senate and House of Representatives, sadly in Nigeria, are rubber stamp. I say rubber stamp because they are not using their powers like they should. Bukola Saraki, former Senate President of the 8th Assembly, could have been many things, okay? We're not quoting him in a coat of gold today. But what we're saying is this man rejected 17 loan offer by Buhari, telling him it makes no sense. But what do we have today? Have you heard of the word? Reverse is the case. Let's get all the details. As senior advocate of Nigeria, San Buhari'S, on Tuesday said it will not offend the Constitution to include direct primaries in the Electoral Act, urging the National Assembly to override President Muhammadu Buhari. He urged that by declining his signature on the bill, the president did not properly exercise his discretion in the national interest. He accused the president of frustrating the electoral reform. The president hinted his refusal on political, moral, and constitutional factors. In a letter to the National Assembly, he explained that he rejected the bill following constitutions and advice from relevant ministries, departments, and agencies. His reasons include the high cost of conducting direct primaries, the security challenges of monitoring the shadow box, violence of citizens, violation of human rights, marginalization of political parties, likely and manipulations of the exercise. The president reasoned it would be better to allow each political party to determine its mode of choosing a standard bearer for elections. But in a statement, Aregbolua said, under and by virtue of page 15, subsection B of Part 1 of the second schedule of the 1999 Constitution as amended, INEC should register political parties in accordance with the provision of the Constitution and an act of the National Assembly. By virtue of Section 222, subsection A of the Constitution, no association by whatever name called shall function as a political party unless a copy of its constitution is registered with INEC. By virtue of Section 223, subsection 1, subsection A of the Constitution and the rules of the political party should provide for period election on a democratic base of its principal officers. By virtue of Section 224 of the Constitution, the program as well as the aim of objective of a political party should conform with the provision of Chapter 2 of the Constitution. So, like the lawyers will say, by virtues of the evidences I've been able to provide before this honorable court of law, I put it to you that President Muhammadu Buhari needs to be what? So you are now the judge, yeah? You are now the judge and the jury. Why I stand here for you to give your what? Your verdict. So by virtue of what this young man has said, he says, you know what? From where I stand, from the table of where I stand, looking at the scheme of things, Buhari has got no point whatsoever to say, okay, that the National Assembly coming together, it was not a disorganized voice. It was one voice, one purpose, one unit. Both Senate and House of Representatives came together and proposed a bill in the interest of the country. What did the president do? Throw it back on their face. Now, one thing the president must never forget is that those who are encouraging you, okay, to go against what will be better for the nation and putting about a constitution that you will leave a legacy, saying you were the one who proposed that Nigeria now have direct primaries. The direct primaries is of huge benefits, such that the political godfathers are totally eradicated. And this will what in turn leads to development. Do you know what political godfathers do? If you have a tip of it, you will understand why the nation is where it is today. So take, for instance, a young man who who has a good heart, has got management skills, have got the people skills, is intending a good matter, has traveled well, has been experienced, has studied, has equipped himself on every angle, ready to take on the horns of leadership. Guess what? He does not have, for instance, all the finances. We know what entails, especially in nations, the Third World Republic or in African nations, to contest. They put the money so high, so much so that an average common man will find it very difficult. Now he goes to this political, in quote and unquote, godfather. I would like to become the president. And they say, you have to see us. You understand? Then he comes to see them. And then they say, when you become the president, now listen, you are what we call a figurehead. And they were like, wow, if you want to debate the matter, you are out of it. Now, if you say, okay, yes, now they will not put yoke that is so heavy on you. For instance, they will tell you, if the whole Senate is supposed to be 20, you give us 16. So you have a group of people you are working with that are not loyal to you. So they are loyal to another boss. How do you intend development? Then they bring in their son-in-law, someone from their village that is not qualified. But you have to give him the contract. So the roads are a death trap. The hospitals, everything is all in disarray. And there can never be the word development. Everybody is saying, it's my turn. I take the national cake. And everybody's looking to somebody to say, you are there now. What are you doing? How can we ever develop if there are no systems in place? Leave us a comment. Bye for now.